and our relationship. So that's what we're going to talk about. What makes a joyful relationship? That is our topic for today.
But wait, is they don't know about
All right, so here we go.
Parang tinan mo, no? Parang mali yung setup mo kasi
Bakit?
nahirapan ako.
Okay. Oo nga, ano?
Pasensya na kayo, technical difficulties na naman kami today.
All right.
Eric, turuan mo nga ito. Okay, let's go on.
So
move on na
what
tayo.
makes a joyful relationship? My dear friends, before we go on, in fact, what I want you to do is, those of you who did attend Feast Conference, can you share to everyone your most important lesson or lessons that you picked up from the conference? That'll be wonderful because everybody will read it. Even those who will watch this on replay, they're
right.
gonna read your comments, and who knows, they'll pick up a very important lesson in the same way that you were impacted by the speaker, by the worship, by the singing, even by all the kalokohan ni Velden,
Majan din.
and you know, I was talking to them. I was telling them, you know, this is very important. The laughter. You know, if you go to other religious conferences, bihira yung may ganon. You know, maybe for those of you who did not attend the conference, we always had Velden, Jan, and Maan. All of them are preachers. All of them. The three of them are very powerful speakers. But for the conference, we just told them, make people laugh. And so they...
And even prior to these three, we had Randy Borromeo
Yes.
And Brother George, who is now in New Zealand.
Sobra.
They were our mainstays. But because nga George
Galing.
left the Philippines,
yes,
we discovered a new love team.
That's right. Yep.
Si Jan and Velden, and just last year they were
joined them.
Joined by Maan. So Majan din na sila.
Oh, si Jeric said from Sazon that you will always be joyful when you're near the Lord, even amid suffering. Galing.
Grabe. And it's for those who attended the Feast Conference, it's so important for us to go back to the talks. Kasi right now, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm listening again, and kasi I was telling Bo, I was so distracted for the past 3 days that I was really... That's the difficulty then of an online conference.
Yep.
There's so much distractions that it's so good for you to just go and listen again to the talks. And also, of course, there were other talks I'm sure na you weren't able to listen to.
Absolutely. Ayan ang gaganda ng mga sharing nila. Whoa,
si Arnold ba yun?
Yes.
Oh, na-miss na namin si Alex. Laki na ni baby. Hindi na siya baby.
Yeah, Christian Joy.
Woo!
Oh.
Ano pa ang mga lessons sila? Ikaw magbasa, hindi ko mabasa yan.
Okay, so here we go. Ito, even Kent says, joy means Jesus, others, and you, from Mother Teresa.
Yes, diba? Sinabi ni Father Agustin yan.
Oo.
He quoted Mother Teresa.
Yeah. Anyway, so here we go. Number one lesson. We wanted to share this with you. Number one. Joy is not just an emotion, but a decision and an action and disposition. Kinumbay na namin yung mga from different speakers. Kasi they kept on going back to this.
It was so beautiful how all the speakers, especially the plenary speakers and the homilies, grabe, how they're also connected. That's why we came up with this. First lesson is, joy is not just an emotion, but a decision, an action, and disposition in that order.
From different speakers,
Yes.
So that was so powerful. And how do you apply that in your relationship now? Last Sunday I did preach on this, and I said that for popular culture, they do operate on a particular formula. If I feel right, I act right. The feeling is the basis of the action. The emotion yun ang motivation to act. And that's normal, di ba?
Sobrang normal. And because nga, when the emotions are really strong, talagang it really pulls you eh. You really follow eh. Your actions follow your emotions.
Absolutely.
And that's why I was telling you, paano na kung negative yung emotion?
Yeah.
Negative din yung action mo.
That's right. And so, I was telling people, there is a more proven formula that will bring you to success, because this popular formula, it will lead you to a messy life. Yeah. Because if you will just act according to your emotion, pag ayaw mo mag-exercise, hindi ka mag-exercise. Pag gusto mong mag-binge watch, for until 6 in the morning, gagawin mo kasi gusto mo eh. And then what happens to your commitments the following day? It even in that practical level, it's gonna mess you up. But think of the impact on relationships.
That's right.
So kunyari sa relationships, you feel like, mas gusto ko yung isang girl kaysa misis ko. What are you gonna do? I have to follow my emotions. So it's gonna really wreak havoc to your family. Your children will be affected, etc. What is the more proven formula that's ancient? It's written by philosophers, from the Chinese philosophers to, to even as far as Socrates and Plato, etc. Even non-Christian, Then of course to other religions and of course to Christianity. The proven formula is this: if I act right, I feel right in due time. So gawin mo yung tama. Whether you feel like it or not. And then just keep on doing the right thing, and in due time, you'll begin to feel right. So your relationship with God, for example.
That's right.
You don't feel like praying, just pray. And sooner or later.
This is a proven but
difficult.
Definitely difficult formula. But this is what we have to do for us to have this real joy, diba?
That's right. So just wanted to share that to people, that this is a powerful concept, and just it's a good reminder for all of us. Okay, that's it. Number 1 done. Are we ready for number 2? Are we ready? Here it is. Number 2. Joy and pain are compatible. Christians don't struggle for a happy life, but a meaningful life. This is from Father Paulo Asprey.
Father Pau's homily last Sunday, grabe.
Ang lalim, ano?
It was very deep, but he used a very familiar imagery.
Maganda,
he began with the very
Lion King.
With a very popular do you see it's a cartoon? It's a movie, a cartoon movie.
Yes.
The Lion King. And grabe no, yung
ang ganda.
Yung phrase na remember with matching James Earl Jones. Remember who you are. Siyempre, di ko kaya yun.
But it is beautiful. Kumbaga sinabi ni Mufasa kay Simba, remember who you are. Look within you. So parang yun ang sinasabi ni Lord sa atin, di ba? Remember who you are. And then he really looked, pinalalim pa niya. Sinabi niya, there are times we won't be happy. And he gave his example after working so hard the whole day. Okay naman daw siya, happy naman siya, but he had tears in his eyes. And then he was saying, loneliness, wag mong sabihin na, ay, lonely ka, ibig sabihin there's no joy, deep joy in your life. Sinasabi niya, because below the loneliness, beneath your loneliness, you can find meaning. And behind the meaning, you can find the joy, contentment, and fulfillment.
Grabe, no?
So joy and pain are compatible. Yun ang sinasabi niya. So it does not mean yung joyful, rejoice in the Lord. Wala ka ng pain, wala ka ng sadness. No. They can live together. And that's powerful. Loneliness, Of course, celibate si Father Pao.
That's why he felt that probably.
He felt that loneliness. Friends, married people feel lonely sometimes, especially when you know that your partner does not understand you. So in the midst of in that loneliness, are you living a meaningful life? Because that's the point, I think, which brings the... Can we go now to the third point?
Yeah.
Because it's connected. The third point comes from Father Joel Hasson, and he said, pursue holiness and you will be happy. Pursue happiness, you may not be holy. So his point is this, and I'm going to connect it with Father Pao, na don't seek for joy, seek for meaning.
Yeah.
Because if you seek for meaning, then you will have joy. So the joy comes from meaning. And I'm going to connect this with Father Joel. He said, it's really holiness. Meaning, for me, if you're going to ask me, what do you mean by meaning? Purpose means what? God's purpose for your life. So at the end of the day, that's what holiness is. Holiness is growing in your relationship with God, which means following Him.
But kasi when people hear the word holiness, talagang turn off na kaagad.
I'm sorry, that's not for me.
Yeah. Parang talaga holiness.
Yeah.
Nasusunog ako dyan.
Yes.
Or baka hindi, that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
Parang ganon.
Ang ganda sharing ni Catherine. Yes, I can relate, Brother Bo. Even if I'm in the midst of suffering and super damning problems, my heart is still at peace. I'm still happy even in my pain. Woo!
Because that's life We cannot go through life.
Yes. Yes.
Na puro kasiyahan lang.
Nope.
That there's really something wrong if it's all
Yeah.
pleasures
Yeah.
and fleeting happiness.
Yes.
Because that means it's just a vicious cycle of I need to be happy again. I need to do something that will feed my addiction. It's not. It's just like a good example would be a hamster on the wheel. Just keeps on,
running and running,
but it's not really going anywhere.
That's right.
And that's sad. A lot of people are like that. They're just running. They're running a race with no direction. Diba?
Kasi nga they're looking for happiness yun ang message ng conference, I think.
Yeah.
Yung wag mo hanapin yung happiness, maghanap ka ng purpose, meaning.
Yes.
Relationships, love. My message last Sunday, love and joy are indelibly connected, which is Mami, I'll talk more about that. So number 4 is this. Father Steve talks about this.
Grabe. Ang lalim ng Father Steve's homily was, I listened to it again this morning. It was so meaty, malaman.
This is funny and this is not funny. This is sad. We're not even covering our master classes.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about, all the great content shared in the master classes. We don't have time. I mean, this is just only 45 minutes.
We're just sharing about yung mga plenary.
We had 45 speakers, would you believe, in the whole 3-day conference. So it was
that's
amazing.
An assignment for me. I want to listen to as much master classes in the following days instead of watching K-drama. Wow.
And the thing that I just wanted to share to people, yung Father Joel, before going to number 4, Father Joel's talked about how relationships should have labels. So it ties into what we've always been saying. Pag ang relationship mo, and I'm talking to singles here, pag ang relationship mo parang meron at wala. Parang meron pero wala.
Kayo na hindi kayo.
Kayo na hindi kayo. Ang labo nun.
Wala talaga.
Parang sinasabi niya, kasi for love to be loved, you're gonna label it and you're going to...
It's a labelless relationship is not a relationship.
Yeah.
Yun ang sinasabi niya.
Yeah. Kasi, and people say, that's what young people do now, ang old-fashioned nyo. But our point is this, kailangan may commitment
Yes.
Kasi kung walang commitment, paano yun, di ba?
In a real relationship, there really needs to be commitment.
Yeah. So, pag let's say walang label, dapat iklaro nyo, ibaba mo, sabihin mo, friends lang tayo So kung friends lang, ba't tayo nagkikiss?
With benefits.
Hello, friends lang eh. No? So don't treat me
Kasi
special.
brother Bo may ganun eh.
So dapat wala. Dapat friends lang, di friends. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, mag-commit ka. Make a commitment. Yun lang. Just wanted to share this to single people. Okay, we go to number 4. Number 4 is this. Our ultimate joy is what? Father Steve was saying, when God tells us, well done, and my good and faithful servant, you have been faithful in handling this small amount. So now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together. He was talking about Saint Francis of Assisi,
Saint Augustine, and Ignatius of
Loyola. So talagang suffering. And then kinonect niya sa joy. Parang yun daw ang joy, yung they suffer for Jesus.
Yeah.
So it was really. In fact, Father Steve asked me after the mass. Tinanong niya sa akin, was I too hard? Did I dampen your spirit? I said, no, that's what we need.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so funny, si Father Steve. But there, number 5. Let's share.
Sino mo si Jerry?
Bakit?
Nabasa mo yun? Kisipin, ano?
Ano sinabi niya?
Sinabi si Jerry, kisipin.
Hindi ko alam. Ito?
Yan. Ay, yan.
May sakit daw, kailangan ng kispirin at yakapsul.
Pag
may relationship, pag boyfriend, girlfriend, or married na dapat.
Tsaka may tanong siya dyan sa suot mong t-shirt kung totoo ba daw na si Voltes 5 yan.
Yeps. Yun, alam everybody, not man everybody, but many people know that I grew up with Voltes 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
So powerful how we are reminded again that life and true joy as is what it is. Dr. Rachel.
Yep. Si Elmer, sinabi niya, sa product man, kapag walang label, fake kasi di rin.
Correct, di ba? Pero we love imitation, di ba? Yung mga fake kasi mas mura. Yun yung sinasabi ni Father Steve. It's cheap grace, sinasabi niya.
Yep.
Yung hindi yung if you don't pursue your purpose in life, you're just pursuing these cheap pleasures of life. Grabe, no?
Oo nga.
Imitation madaling masira.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
Number 5.
Number 5. Joy and love are indelibly linked. So I was preaching about this last Sunday. And, many speakers were talking about love, selflessness. See, Emily Wilson was sharing about the need for community, the need to be together.
Ganda nun.
And then
I loved her message about that.
And then Father Agustin was talking about.
Baka mamali ako. Baka Augusto nga siya.
Sazon. Was talking.
Father Agustin siya. Alam ko.
He was talking about that joy comes from really serving people, and that you need that community where you serve. So shout out to all our brothers and sisters at the feast. But if you belong to another community, serve there. And service does not mean music ministry, children's. Okay yun. I mean, please do that. But we're talking about, calling up people when you know that they're going through something, may pinagdadaanan, call them up, visit them. That's where joy comes from. And this was my point, that in a relationship, when you are selfless and you don't expect anything in return, that's where joy comes from. So if you want to be happy, if you really want to be happy, yan sinabi nila Agustino daw, sinabi ni Lulu at ni Father Jeric tuloy. Okay. So
uy, na-promote ka, Jeric.
Okay. So and there. Are we going to number 6 now? Last.
Ilan ba to? 6
last
lang.
Last na. Okay. We're almost done. So
I don't know if our audio is okay.
Okay, we're okay. Nobody's complaining. Number 6, last point that we want to share is my main message last Sunday, which is the joy of the Lord is my strength. Bakit? Ba't ka tumatawa?
Natawa ako kasi nga when I was listening to you giving this talk. Saka talaga love, hindi mo alam ang ibig sabihin ng the joy of the Lord is my strength. Wala lang, ang cute mo. Pero, of course, definitely, favorite ko yung talk mo, Nax. At ang dami mong pinaiyak. So, kasama na ako doon. So, sige na. Tuloy mo na.
No, I really, when I was listening to, when I was singing that song.
Sample.
The joy of the Lord is my strength.
Grabe.
The joy of the Lord is my
Masyadong
strength.
makulot tong
The
song.
joy of the Lord is my strength. For the joy of the Lord is my strength. I didn't know what it meant. Kasi parang, the joy of the Lord. So, joy ni Lord yon,
Yes.
binibigay sa akin.
Yes.
So, alam mo kung bakit nagtataka ako?
Okay.
When I was young, as a teenager, hindi ko ma-imagine na masaya si Lord.
Ayun. So that's why.
It's not the first image of who
Yes.
God is.
Yes.
My first image of God is that He sits on a throne, ngumingiti naman, na He loves me. Pero, may joy ba si Lord? Parang that was...
It was an alien imagery of
Yes.
God for you.
So tinanggap ko na lang na siguro He gives me joy or whatever. There was another thing. There was another meaning. I was thinking, the joy that I feel when I'm with God in His presence. Oh, yun ang pinaghuhugutan ko ng strength. Yung joy ko when I am with Him.
Which is a difficult thing.
Yeah.
Because, again, that's still, parang it's so subjective, di ba?
Yeah. And in fact, when I was decades later, while I was studying the Bible scholars who were studying Nehemiah 8, sila rin nalilito.
Okay.
Ano ibig sabihin ni Nehemiah dito? And my second meaning, baka yung joy ko when I'm in the presence of the Lord, that's what some Bible scholars were saying. That's what it means. But then there were other Bible scholars who were saying, tama pero incomplete.
Okay.
I think this is what Nehemiah meant. The joy that the Lord has when He is with us. Yun ang paghuhugutan mo ng lakas.
And that
Ang lalim
imagery was so beautiful.
Ang lalim nun.
Is so beautiful. Kaya nga.
And so, and then may scripture backing rin sila. It's na hindi lang isolated version. They went to Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 17. Tingnan mo, sinabi nila, God is very happy. He rejoices over you with joyful songs. So there's a biblical foundation to that. So there, I just wanted to end with that note in our reflections.